Welcome back. Let's just dive right in. Today, we're demystifying the whole world of personal finance. If checking your bank balance gives you, that mild sense of panic, you're absolutely in the right place. In this explainer, we're going to build a step-by-step, completely stress-free blueprint for managing your money. By the time we wrap up, you'll have a rock-solid foundation to take back control of your financial life.
Here's our roadmap. We're going to cover 1. Directing the money currents. 2. Choosing your structural framework. 3. Routing your monthly income. 4. The categorization challenge. 5. Finding hidden money leaks. And finally, 6. Bulletproofing your blueprint. Let's get to it.
Think about it like this. You wouldn't build a house without a blueprint, right? Well, you shouldn't build your life without a financial architecture either. This explainer is all about giving you structural control over what can honestly feel like total financial chaos. We're moving away from just watching cash flow in and out to achieving actual, complete financial control.
Section 1. Directing the money currents.
So, the immense complexity of personal finance really just boils down to 3 continuous currents. First up, money in. This is auditing your income so you truly understand your total cash flow. Second, where it goes, meaning you manage your fixed and variable expenses before the month even kicks off. And finally, how it grows. This is gaining control over those long-term goals, whether that's an emergency fund, destroying debt, or investing for the future. True control, it starts right here with these 3 currents.
Section 2. Choosing your structural framework.
Just like houses, different lifestyles need totally different foundations. Budgeting frameworks give you that structure. We're looking at 3 proven systems here. First up, the 50-30-20 rule. You split your take-home pay into 3 buckets: 50% for needs, 30% for wants, and 20% for savings and debt payoff. It's absolutely ideal if you're a beginner wanting a high-level guideline without obsessing over every single penny. Next, zero-based budgeting. Every single dollar gets a job. Expenses, savings, investments, until your income minus expenses equals exactly 0. This one, it's for the detail-oriented planners who crave maximum control. Lastly, the envelope method. You allocate cash or digital funds into strictly labeled limits for variable spending. Perfect if you're trying to curb impulsive buying by literally stuffing cash away into limits.
Now, the real secret to picking your framework is this brilliant little concept called friction. Friction is basically just how much effort the system demands from you. Notice how the 50-30-20 rule is low friction, super broad, very forgiving. But zero-based budgeting, high friction. It requires a lot of your attention, but the trade-off is maximum control over your cash flow. And the envelope method sits comfortably right in the middle as medium friction. Your job is to just pick the friction level that actually matches your current financial discipline.
Section 3. Routing your monthly income.
All right, let's zoom in on that super popular 50-30-20 rule. It provides a fantastic baseline for stability. Half of your take-home pay, 50%, is locked in for non-negotiable needs: rent, utilities, groceries, the absolute essentials. Then 30% goes to wants. These are your discretionary choices, dining out, entertainment, all the fun stuff. And finally, that golden 20% bucket. This is your future-proofing bucket, strictly reserved for savings, investments, and paying off debt. Let's do some quick visual math to make this super concrete. Imagine you take home exactly $3,000 a month, after taxes. Applying those percentages, it gives us a really clear picture. 50% means $1,500 goes to needs, 30% carves out $900 for wants, and 20% means $600 goes directly towards savings and debt payoff.
And here's how that money actually routes into specific vaults. By visualizing your income flowing straight into these 3 distinct buckets, you're turning abstract percentages into manageable dollar amounts. It totally removes the guesswork. $1,500 to Vault 1, $900 to Vault 2, $600 to Vault 3. Simple as that.
Section 4, the Categorization Challenge. I know, the math is the easy part, right? It's the honest categorization where things get a little tricky in real life. Knowing the difference between a need and a want is absolutely crucial. So let's do a quick mental exercise. Take a second and guess. How would you categorize a basic smartphone plan, a gym membership, and minimum monthly debt payments? Where do they belong in our needs, wants, or savings split? Really think about it for a sec. All right, let's break it down. First, the gym membership. It's actually a want, so it goes in the 30% bucket. Now, I know staying healthy is incredibly important, but as much as we try to convince ourselves otherwise, a paid facility is an optional choice compared to free alternatives like, say, running outside. What about minimum debt payments? That is a definitive need, part of your 50%. Skipping those leads to severe credit damage. Note, though, Any extra payments you make to clear that debt faster, those go into your 20% savings bucket. Finally, the basic smartphone plan. In today's world, basic connectivity for work and banking is absolutely essential, making it a need. But remember, those unlimited luxury data upgrades, they fall right back into the wants category. Strict honesty is literally your best tool here.
Section 5. Finding hidden money leaks.
Awareness has to come before restriction. You can't fix a leak you can't see, right? To spot silent drains on your cash flow, you've got to track your expenses. So, here's a quick guide to matching a tracking method with your personal discipline. If you want minimal manual input, automated apps that link to your bank are great. The catch? They can lead to passive disengagement, which is exactly how people end up wasting hundreds on forgotten subscriptions. Manual spreadsheets give you huge awareness and customization, but they require serious discipline to sit down and enter the data. And finally, the receipt or notes method, jotting down purchases daily on your phone. This gives you immediate mindfulness right when you spend, though it's easy to forget entries over time. The key is to just pick the tool you'll actually use.
Which brings us to a highly recommended starting point, the 30-day expense audit. The goal here is simple but incredibly powerful. Instead of trying to instantly change your habits, just record every single dollar spent for one full month. What you're hunting for are money leaks, those sneaky, recurring expenses that quietly drain your cash flow without giving you much value. Maybe it's a forgotten subscription or a daily habit you didn't realize was adding up so fast. You've got to find the leaks before you can plug them.
Section 6. Bulletproofing Your Blueprint. We need to talk about the pragmatic reality of a high cost of living environment. What happens when your fixed needs exceed 50% of your take-home pay, maybe because rent is crazy high in your city? Here, we're starkly contrasting the standard 50-30-20 split against a high-cost split, where essential needs force that first bucket all the way up to 60%.
So when essential living costs rise, you follow the golden rule of the blueprint. You compress your wants category first. Notice how the wants slide down from 30% to 20% to accommodate that higher needs bucket. But look at the 20% savings vault. It has a giant padlock on it. It remains strictly locked and bulletproofed. You never, ever sacrifice your long-term financial security for short-term expenses. That's the golden rule. To bring it all together, here is your concrete 4-step action plan for blueprint activation. Step 1. Pick a framework based on your need for control. Step 2, audit your spending for 30 days to track down those hidden money leaks. Step 3, categorize honestly. Separate true operational needs from lifestyle wants. And Step 4, protect the 20%, compressing your wants if your living costs happen to rise.
When you connect all these dots, you build this incredible, cohesive pipeline. Moving step by step through this process literally transforms a chaotic pile of income and expenses into a totally stress-free, deeply organized financial architecture. It gives every single dollar a purpose and puts you firmly back in the driver's seat.
So I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on as you start putting all this into practice. What is the very first money leak you are going to plug this week? The blueprint is in your hands now. Go build something great.